Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin today, guys. All right, so Dogecoin is going nuts. And we hit the first target that I was talking about after breaking this top over here. We're in this Fibonacci retracement box. I actually got rid of it because we're no longer in it. But we were looking at that top right there. Once we broke out of that, then I was saying like this is its own little planet, and the next little planet that we'd be going to is this little area right here, because these are the previous resistances. We have resistance right here, we have a resistance right here, and we have a resistance right here. Sorry, this one is right here. These are at those next levels that I was talking about. Once we broke this top right here, then we can start getting more confident, or we can start looking at these targets going to the upside. And we basically just hit the first one and broke through it. Let's go ahead and go to the 1 hour time frame, and this is what I've been looking at this morning. Okay, so we had, it kind of looks like a flag pattern, but not really like a perfect one. We had like a run up, and then we got consolidation, something like that. Technically, I mean, I guess you could argue that we could drag from the bottom of that, say, but it's not like really perfect either. Maybe something like this. I mean, I wasn't thinking something, I don't know. You could kind of argue this though, but that would take us all the way up to around .39, which is a little under that third target. But what I was thinking is, because we had support, giving me this uptrend, we broke that uptrend going to the downside right here. So what I like to do, okay, so we're watching the trend, and then if it breaks it, what I like to do is watch the top and then the bottom, something like that. And I think I have a white little thing right there. Okay, so sorry. What I was going to say is we would target from the top to the bottom. Okay, no. We'd be watching the top, we'd be watching the bottom, and then if it broke to the upside, then we could get more confident on the next target. Or if it breaks to the downside, if we break that bottom, if we break this bottom, or if we break this top, then we get more confident on which way it's going. If it would have broke that going to the downside, then maybe I would have said, okay, well, maybe we have to come back down and retest that top. But it looks like it's breaking to the upside right now, or at least it's breaking that top again. So we might be continuing this little uptrend that we have right here. We had support, something like that. We actually broke this one, that parabolic one, but it just looks like we had a nice little run up, consolidation, breaking to the upside. That's why I was saying that maybe you could argue that this is a flag pattern, something like that, and then you would drag from the top to the bottom, something like that, then drag that to the breakout and do something like that. Let's see, where did I get this target from? I think I was targeting this triangle pattern, because there's also that's what I was looking at, but I didn't really love it. But the other thing too is we also have this little channel pattern. If you want to be conservative about it, you can drag from the bottom to the top of this little channel pattern, drag that to the breakout, and that gives you another target of around, a more conservative target of around .334. But like I was saying in yesterday's video, like now that we've broken out of this area down here, let's see, let me zoom out. Now that we've broken out of this top and this whole area, then I think the next area we might be chilling in is this one right here, or at least hopefully, I don't know, I'm hoping that we could get somewhere up here and maybe start chilling in this area, and then maybe go higher. I don't know, that would be crazy, but I'm kind of hoping that we can come up here. That might be one of the bigger targets. I might take some profits in this area, I am hoping. Let's see, maybe try to help pay off my car, something. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at. But we hit the first target. We hit that first yellow target sitting at .306. The next one that I'd be looking at is .349, and like I said before, I'm getting these prices from these previous resistances we had back in the day. We were coming down, we came up, got resistance right here, came down, got resistance right here, came down. And those are the two spots that, well, we hit the first one. Now the next one is .351. The one after that is .44. Let's see if we can go that high though. But yeah, looking good. Look at the volume too. Also, this is a good example of huge crazy volume when there's not a lot of volume. Boom, volume starts to come in a little bit more, and now we're getting like crazy volume. So that's also good. The other thing I was kind of playing with too is we have a top right here, and then we had support, and I don't know, like you could argue, well, I don't know. I was just playing with it, but it kind of is like a channel pattern, dragging from the top to the bottom right there, dragging that to the breakout, and that gives me a target of around, let's go ahead and delete some of these other ones since I don't need it. Or since we already talked about them, should I say? There's a bunch of stuff in there. Okay, dragging just from the bottom to the top of this, dragging that to the breakout of the top, then that gives me a target of around .388 if you wanted to argue that this was like a channel pattern. We broke out right there. That would be the breakout, something like that. Boom. But I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm still looking at these previous resistances though. I think those are the spots that we might be kind of, like I said, we're in these little planets. We broke out of the planet into orbit. After that, we started getting nice green candles, no less gravity. Now we're coming into these previous resistances, where there might be some more gravity. We might be like, that's why I was saying we might be chilling in these areas. If we can like break up above, like would be interesting to do is if it was like, if we broke up, came up and hit like .442 and then started retracing, and then that's when we can maybe set up the Fibonacci retracement tool. Once we feel like we're kind of topping out or we have to cool off, then we get the Fibonacci retracement tool over here, drag from the bottom of the run to the top of the run. Let's say that this is going to be the top. Then we could start looking at the 38% level, the 50% level, even 26, depending on how far you think it's going to go down. But that's kind of, those are kind of the next steps. Hopefully, yeah, like I said, I'm kind of hoping that we can come up here. I think I'm going to probably take some profits at .442. It could go higher though. I also have some on my ledger that I'm not going to sell either. I don't know. It either has to hit $1 or it has to hit, like be a certain amount of time. But like, I mean, a long time, like retirement. So another like, I don't know what, 20 years or whatever. I don't know. 15, 20 years. But yeah, I think that's, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Dogecoin's doing nuts. If you guys want to check out some more other coins, let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick, and or Bitcoin at Dogecoin. This one is approaching the resistance that I was talking about, or did we already break it? I think we might have already broke it. This is the other one that I was talking about. Yeah, we broke through it. So we had resistance right here, giving me this trend line right here. That is, this whole thing has just been crazy. Because, okay, so this chart is Dogecoin to Bitcoin. If this chart's going down, it's good for Bitcoin. If this chart's going up, then it's good for Dogecoin. We've been breaking these resistances, and ever since we broke this one right here, it's been flying. We had resistance giving me a trend line going to the downside. Boom, broke out of that. We had resistance giving me another trend line. Boom, broke out of that. Green candles, resistance, broke out of this, green candles. And this is another one that we have to look for. This is the last one that I was actually looking at. Let's see if we could break through that one as well. If we do that, let's see. Let me delete everything on this chart. Let's go ahead and delete everything. And we'll kind of take a look. You know what? Actually, let's go to Doge to Bitcoin on a different chart. So I'm on Trading View right now, and if you just do like Doge BTC, then it'll give you, is that the one that I'm using? Okay, this one's better. Yeah, yeah, let's go ahead and delete everything Move when drawing. Because what I wanted to do was do the Fibonacci retracement chart in reverse, because it's kind of like the dead cat bounce kind of thing, where we have a big run up and then it comes down, big run up and then it comes down, like these dead cat bounces or whatever. But what I'm thinking is we drag from the top of that big huge run to the bottom of this one, maybe something like this. And this is Dogecoin to Bitcoin, like I was saying. So if this chart is going down, then it's good for Dogecoin. If it's going, sorry. If it's going down, then it's good for Bitcoin. If it's going up, then it's good for Bitcoin. Basically, with this Fibonacci retracement tool, we get the Fibonacci retracement tool, we drag from the top to the bottom, and we're looking for that dead cat bounce kind of thing. So same thing, same way that I was just explaining, like if we start going high and then we start topping out and then we think we're going to go down, we could set up this Fibonacci retracement chart to give us levels as we go to the downside, so we're not just kind of blindly doing it. The next Fibonacci retracement down or up might be good spots to either buy and or sell. Sometimes it'll do stuff like this where you can buy it and then you can sell it. But with the dead cat bounce thing, it'll kind of work the same way, where it goes down, but then it could bounce to the upside. Check out, well, that's not a perfect example because this would have been a different bottom right there. But even if you look right here, so we drag from the top right here to the bottom right here. It went down and it bounced 50% to it retraced up to 50%. And that's how you could kind of look at this. So we might be looking at something like that as well. I mean, we're getting parabolic moves. We just broke this resistance right here. Same thing with the other chart. I mean, we'd be looking at the next previous resistance. We came up, broke this one. We have one right here a little bit. That might have been the one that I was kind of looking at, but we're testing it right now. If we break out of that, then I mean we could be looking at something like this. We have the 38% level, and then we have that 50% level, and this is Dogecoin compared to Bitcoin, so the numbers are kind of like, it's not, I don't know, I think it's how much Dogecoin would buy you Bitcoin, and so it's like a weird number. But anyways, in general, if this chart is moving to the upside, all you have to worry about is if you can tell that this chart is moving up, then that's going to be good compared to Dogecoin. That Dogecoin is going to be doing better than Bitcoin. And we have this other downtrend, something like that, ever since we broke this resistance and this resistance, all this resistance right here, we've been going to the upside. But yeah, going back to that dead cat bounce thing, here's that first level I'd be watching, the second, and then the third. It could even go higher than that though. I mean, look at what it's done in the past. That's why I wanted to go to this chart on Dogecoin to Bitcoin on Binance, because let's see. Yeah, it's the price. I think I started getting into it in this area over here or something like that. But what was I going to say? The price has spiked compared to Bitcoin in the past. We had this huge run up over here, and then kind of really bad over, not really bad, but Bitcoin was just better asset during this whole area right here. But during this run, it was better to be holding Dogecoin because you would have got massive gains. Better to be in Bitcoin. But if you would have traded your Dogecoin to Bitcoin right here, if you would have traded your Bitcoin to Dogecoin right here, then you would have got all these profits. But went down, now it's going up again. Let's see how far it can actually go to the upside. But in these dead cat bounces things, I would be looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels. Those could be potential targets. So we have, I mean, after we clear out all these resistances that we're kind of basically doing right now, we'd have to look at something else. Either these resistances, this one lines up perfectly with that 50% level, and we could break out of that too. But first things first would be the Fibonacci retracement levels. It could go up and then start coming back down at these levels. So that's kind of what I would be looking for. But these are possible targets. Like I was saying, there's still a lot of room to go to the 50% level. And if we broke out of that, then that'd be, I mean, it's not like we haven't done crazy stuff before. That's also what I wanted to point out. So let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin looks like it probably, what did I have? Some sort of, I was looking at a flag pattern over here. We had a run up and then consolidation, and then we broke that to the upside. I was targeting from the top of the pole to the bottom of the pole. I don't really love the way this flag looks. It's kind of like stretched out a little bit, and then this is kind of like, I don't know, but we had a big run up, consolidation, continuation pattern, basic continuation that takes us all the way up to around 86,173.70. This one was a little bit lower. Maybe I was just targeting that smaller amount, but it looks like we're kind of hitting those levels right now. I've been talking about this on my channel as well, this cup and handle pattern. We have this cup, we have this channel pattern after the cup, textbook cup and handle. Once we break that resistance going to the upside, then we can drag from the top to the bottom of the cup pattern, something like that, drag that to the breakout, and that gives me that target of around 123 that I've been looking at. I think I kind of targeted conservative on that one. Let's go ahead and do from the bottom to the top. Then let's drag that to the breakout where it breaks. We could actually get rid of this top right here because we already broke that. These are the main things that we're looking at. And that's what gives me that 123,000 target. Let me go ahead and clear these off. The other thing that I kind of was looking at was this channel pattern too, if you wanted to be conservative about this. So we had that channel pattern, definitely dragging that to the breakout. That looks like a target of around 85,592, which it looks like we're approaching. I'm kind of curious if we have to cool off or if it's going to get even more parabolic. But kind of like Dogecoin. I mean, you saw what happened with Dogecoin. Once we broke out of that, like that top, we kind of just started flying. So I'm kind of curious what the next spots that we'd be looking at. I mean, we can speculate and do that Fibonacci retracement thing where we drag from the bottom of the trend to the top of the, or the bottom of the top of the run to the bottom of the run. Sorry, it's a little bit different. I'm still not used to it too much, but we could be potentially looking at 110,000. I actually looked at this on the last video as well, but maybe these could be levels that we could be looking at going to next, possibly. But what was I gonna say? Bitcoin looks like it's flying though as well. All-time highs, breaking tops. Yeah, I'm looking at that. What is it? The cup and handle pattern, dragging that. We have those two tops right there. Drag from the bottom of the top, something like this. And then we can kind of get rid of everything else. And that's kind of what we're looking at on Bitcoin. Let me go ahead and put a price label on that real quick. Boom. 124,000 approximately. So let's see what else we got. Bitcoin dominance. I kind of wanted to look at this real quick as well. Because the Bitcoin dominance, basically, if this chart is going up, then it's good for Bitcoin, and you want to be in Bitcoin over the altcoins. But if the chart starts breaking to the downside, then that's good for altcoins, and you'll get an altcoin season, and everything will start. All the altcoins will start exploding. So right now, it looked like we're in a kind of a rising wedge where it's getting higher, going higher and higher and higher, and getting tighter and tighter. You're getting higher highs, higher lows, but it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It has to choose whether to go to the upside or to the downside. These patterns are kind of bearish, meaning that it usually does break to the downside. And like I was saying, if it does break to the downside, that just means that it could mean multiple things, but usually it means that altcoins are going to start pumping like crazy. So, I mean, you kind of already saw it with these little red candles right here. All the altcoins have been performing really good lately, for the past, I don't know, couple days, I guess. And you can see it right here. Once we broke this little uptrend right there, we started going to the downside, meaning that altcoin season. If this starts jumping to the downside, that means there's an altcoin season basically. And like I was saying, we have this rising wedge, something like this, boom. That would be Bitcoin could be just going sideways, and all the altcoins could be outperforming it. That's one scenario that could be going on when that's altcoin season. You know what I mean? So that's BTC.D on TradingView.com. Let's see what else we got. I think that's about it. Dogecoin's up 11%. Nothing else is really like standing out. SHIB is up 7%. And what about Ethereum? Ethereum's still kind of chilling. Ethereum, I think, hit my first target at, well, no, it's getting close though. 3,280, getting close to that first target. The next one is 3,886, and then the third one is 4,052. I got those targets from this little triangle pattern right here. We have resistance, we have support. Drag from the top to the bottom of that, and you get a target of around 3,280. Then we have this channel pattern, something like that. If we drag from the top to the bottom of this trend line, drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of approximately 3,886. And then we also have another cup and handle pattern, something like this. Cup, channel pattern after it, got the handle. So then we drag from the top to the bottom of that, and I think I might be being liberal on that one, maybe more something in the middle where it's a little more conservative. Let's see, something like this, and that gives me a target of around 4,852, which lines up with the previous top over here. So we might be coming, that's what I'm kind of hoping and thinking. Hopefully it goes a little bit higher, or even higher. I mean, you could even, looking at the Fibonacci retracement in reverse, then this level right here looks like around 7,403. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. So maybe up here as well, if we could break that top, like we'd be, you know, this little planet, and then we'd have to find another one, because we're at the all-time highs up here. So yeah, that's, maybe we could come up to here if we broke out of this top right here, or of this little Fibonacci retracement box. Yeah, I think that about does it though. I mean, I've been looking at Ethereum. I'm kind of hoping that it pumps, but Dogecoin is doing great. Let me see, where is it at? Yeah, like we're clearly breaking above that first resistance right now, and it's looking amazing. Let's see, let's go to the hourly. We came up, tested it, came back down, got a little bit of consolidation, came back through, and then is cracking through it. Let's see if we come up to the next one at .34992, and continue all the way up to .442. That'd be crazy if we came up to here and we actually hit the target right away. I might have to take profits and try to help pay off stuff. So I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. It looks like it's happening fast, though. So I don't know. Let me know what your guys' ultimate price targets are down below. If you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up, and getting close to 10,000 subscribers. So if you should click subscribe if you want to. If you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up, though. And if you want to check out the last video, check it out right here. If you want to check out this playlist, help get you started on trading, if you're new to trading, should I say, then check that one out. All right, if you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.